the Chi-Town experience on the flight. Let me go tune in to Keek on the mic. He gon' make sure we get our news and highlights. When you get on YouTube, you better hit the like.
Training camp hasn't even begun, and it already seems that the Bears may be catching a huge break as we look towards the new season. Hey, what's going on, Bears fans? Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Keek on the Mic, the podcast all about the Chicago Bears. As always, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. So, Bears fans, I know this is my second video of today, but I really wanted to share this bit of information that I just found out that has major effects in regard to the Chicago Bears schedule. And as you all know, we all know as Bears fans how important this season is for the Chicago Bears. Of course, you have Ben Johnson going into his first season as the new Chicago Bears head coach. You have guys like Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze going into year 2, and we are expecting a massive jump from those two guys. Of course, Ryan Poles has done so much to this roster, both on the offensive line and defensive line, to hopefully allow us to take the next step in our rebuild, and that is to make the playoffs. You have to remember, the Chicago Bears haven't finished with the winning record since 2018. They haven't been to the playoffs since 2020, and it seems that, you know, Bears fans, including myself, are getting tired of this rebuild, right? We all understood that it was going to take a long time. But at the same time, we also want to see a winning organization here in Chicago. And of course, when you look at the schedule, the Bears play the NFC East and the AFC North, arguably two of the best divisions in the National Football League. And that's also including our division as well. But one thing that I wanted to bring to you guys' attention on today's episode of Keek on the Mic, that it seems that the Chicago Bears already may be getting a break in regard to the week 1 matchup against the Minnesota Vikings. If you guys have not been paying attention to the Viking situation, Vikings wide receiver Jordan Addison's jury trial stemming from his 2024 DUI citation remains set for today in Superior Court of California. Addison has pleaded not guilty. And of course, that was from July 15th. And then Adam Schefter also reported that if convicted, Vikings wide receiver Jordan Addison could be facing a baseline 3-game suspension per NFL policy. So once again, if he is convicted, the baseline would be a 3-game suspension for the season for the Minnesota Vikings. And that means he would miss the Monday night opener in Chicago against the Chicago Bears. And a lot of Bears fans be like, well, Keek, why is this a big deal? This is a massive deal, not only for the Chicago Bears, but the Minnesota Vikings as well. When you're looking at the Minnesota Vikings point of view, of course, you have J.J. McCarthy taking the reins over there in Minnesota. This will be his first NFL game, and it's going to be a tough environment for him to play. Not only you're playing the Chicago Bears in Chicago, it's a primetime game, Monday Night Football. The spotlight's going to be on you, and that is like the biggest question mark right now for the Minnesota Vikings is J.J. McCarthy. Is he going to pan out? Is he not? Of course, the Minnesota Vikings still have Justin Jefferson, but when you combine Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, to me, that's one of the best wide receiver duos in the National Football League. And if Jordan Addison is convicted and does get suspended by the NFL for a couple of games, their backups are Jalen Naylor or rookie Ty Felton. So obviously that's not good news for the Minnesota Vikings, but that's great news for the Chicago Bears. And of course, catching breaks week 1, you know, it comes with some repercussions. If the Chicago Bears go out there and handle business, there's going to be excuses, right? Well, we didn't have Jordan Addison. We didn't have this, right? Of course, you want everyone available during game day. But obviously in Jordan Addison's situation with this DUI situation, it could be very well that if convicted, he'd be missing the first 3 games. And once again, when you look at Jordan Addison, this is going to be a huge deal for that Monday Night Football matchup against the Chicago Bears. In 2023, he had 911 yards, 10 touchdowns. In 2024, he followed up with 875 yards and 9 touchdowns. So a very consistent player alongside Justin Jefferson. And then last year versus the Chicago Bears, he absolutely dominated the Chicago Bears defense. He had 15 catches for 225 yards and 1 touchdown. And let me remind you, that first matchup last season in Chicago, he absolutely dominated the Chicago Bears defense for 8 catches, 162 receiving yards, and 1 receiving touchdown. So to say the least, Bears fans, I wouldn't be mad at the idea of Jordan Addison not being available for the Chicago Bears. And of course, when you look at the Chicago Bears schedule, it's daunting. Every game seems like it's going to be a playoff game for Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams, and the Chicago Bears. So any break that we can get as an organization, I'll take. And if that means that, that makes the Vikings a little bit crippled for that week 1 matchup, I will definitely take it. And hopefully at this point, if it does happen, I'm not saying he's going to get suspended, but if he does happen to get suspended, hopefully the Chicago Bears defense can game plan the right way and definitely take advantage of this situation that is involving the Minnesota Vikings and Jordan Addison. So it may seem ridiculous that I'm bringing this up to you guys, but I just wanted to bring this to your guys' attention prior to that week 1 Monday Night Football matchup against the Minnesota Vikings, that the Bears may possibly catch a break if Jordan Addison is actually convicted of his DUI situation back from 2024. So Bears fans, before I let you guys go, let me ask you guys this. Comment down below and give your opinions on this whole situation. Do you guys think it matters if Jordan Addison plays or not? I definitely think the Chicago Bears can win this football game, whether he's available or not. But let me know your opinions down below in the comment section. But as always, make sure you guys continue to hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms, and make sure you share this episode of Geek on the Mic with every single Bears fan that you know. But other than that, be back for our all new Bears podcast right here on Geek on the Mic. Thanks, guys, and as always, bear down.
You ain't bout it, you ain't Geek on the Mic.